Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. So today we are doing angel eye install on my daily E46 Convertible, which as you can see right now it has no eyes because they're down here. Anyway, so I just recently bought a set of angel eye guy RGBW Chasing Halos, which is the same halos that I have in my E46 sedan, which is sitting right here. The reason for me buying those specifically is because these have the ability to turn on and off by a press of a button, where the basic halos, they are on all the time as daytime running lights, and I just personally don't prefer that. So this is not a sponsored video from Angel Eye Guy. This is just me wanting to do a video for you guys and provide some content for the channel. So right now, as of me recording this intro, the halos are already installed inside the headlights. I already have the wiring harness laid out, but of course first I need to show you guys how to install these halos. So we're going to do that now. I'm going to show you what's in the kit that you get, then I'll show you how to install it in the headlight. Now I personally remove the headlights from the car because I feel like it's so much easier to do that instead of leaving them in the car. You can install these halos while the headlights are still inside the car. It's up to you. I just like to do it outside because it's much faster for me, and also I want to give you an in-depth detail on how to install them the right way with wire tucking and everything. So let's go ahead and get started and get to work. Alright, so I've already loosened this Phillips screw, so this thing can just come right out. Maybe not. There. That's always the most difficult part. I think you want to start from the left side and then go to the right. There. Right there, you have to pry out and then pull out. With that, we can start the headlight removal. 8mm, there's 4 of them. Alright, time to pull out the extension. It might be hard to try to get it out without a magnet. Pretty hard to get to. There we go. Also make sure to unplug your connectors, which is what I need to do here. And there you have it. So here we go. First, we're going to start by taking this headlight gasket off. So it's these little clips here, which you can just push out with your finger, or if you need to use a screwdriver you can, but they're right here. So there's that. So we have 3 tabs. 1, 2, 3. Make that 4 right here. 5, 6, 7. 7 tabs that we are popping off. I need to do it. There. Alright, and the headlight lens is out. Now we're going to take this headlight bracket out. I genuinely forgot the name of it here. There's a couple clips that go into these tabs on each corner. So you just want to pop it out slowly, just like that, without breaking anything. Nothing's broken. We've been provided these little tabs here, or clips. For the low beam itself, we're just going to use one because it just needs to clip in the center of the headlight right here. Onto this, like that. You just keep it in the center. What it's going to do is clamp on to the top portion of this headlight or this low beam. Go ahead and get it in place, okay? We're going to feed the wire up here. I don't understand what your problem is. Do I need to just flatten you out? You think you can flatten out? Yeah, that was all I had to do. Awesome. So yeah, if it ever gets stuck like it just did, just flatten out the wire. Like I said, feed it through the back of the high beam. It should look a little something like this. Nicely wire tucked. With this halo here, for the high beam, you're going to need 2 clamps. Because this headlight has, or the high beam has this little triangular shape to it, which for 1 clamp is not enough to reach the clamp and the halo for it to stick properly. That's right. Come on. Alright. Now Now this one really doesn't clamp well. There's really no way around it because it just sucks. With this halo, like I said, you're gonna have to tape it on. The clamps are just there as like a guide. There's gonna be two spots where it's gonna tape to. It'll be right here along this edge and right here along that edge. I think I just realized this thing is put upside down, so that's not good. So you want the flat, there's like a side that has a ridge and there's a flat side to this. You want the flat side up top. There's that, and then we'll attempt to put the tape. Again, it's not going to stick much. It might stick for the very beginning, but otherwise it's going to warm up and just not stick anymore. Yeah, we're now going to jump forward to actually putting these back in the car and then feeding the wires all around the engine bay. So let's go ahead and do that now. So to give you guys an overview on how the wiring harness should look when it's inside the engine bay. So the wiring harness here, this is the main wiring harness that powers the halos. This is the harness that powers the color changing abilities along with this box right here. But for now, we're focusing on this harness. What you want is for positive wire that has all of these just writing on it and this nice loom to be fed through here so it can tap into the ECU. My preferred location of putting the relay is right here. So this is a 10mm bolt. You can just put the harness right here and bolt it in nice and clean. As for the positive terminal, now in the install guides that Angel Eye Guy provides, and a lot of people have put on YouTube, they put it on this terminal here. They put the positive connection onto this terminal. Well, if your car is anything like mine, and I can never have anything go right, this terminal right now, it just spins and spins because this bolt here is completely disconnected with this nut. So I can't remove this. It's just great. So you have this other section right here. That's another link to the positive terminal, and it's much cleaner. So what you have to do is this bracket right here. I think this is like the hood sensor, I want to say. I can't remember what this is, but this covers the back of this, okay? So you want to pry this cover off, and it's going to be held by a little tab, which is right here. That little tab there. You want to remove this cover, okay? It might take some prying, but at some point you'll be able to get it off. I believe you can just slide it off, but for me I had to like pry it off and slide at the same time, but it's supposed to come up like this. But that's where the positive connection is, and it's hidden back there. There's nothing wrapping around here, and I just prefer that location better. So next we have the negative terminal, which there's only one, which is the negative terminal right there. So that's where you can put the negative connection. So anyway, this cover will go back on later. As for this, so this is the DC-DC converter, which is what powers the color changing abilities of the halos. So this is going to be zip tied over here in this section. So I'm going to use this car as an example because I already have all of this done on this side. So you see how I have everything neatly put? I have this zip tied. I have the main harness zip tied here. Positive connections in there. Negative terminals right there. DC-DC converter is right here, just tucked away. So no water can get to it, and it's just nice and clean. You don't see it. It's, like I said, zip tied right here. And as for the wires, it's all just tucked in right here. Feeds through. I apologize for the car being dirty. It's been sitting for like 2 months now. It's a zip tied through here. The wiring harness that feeds the driver's side goes all the way through under this plastic piece, feeds through there, feeds through here, and this is where I have a little loop here, so where the halos wires connects to the wiring harness that powers the halos. So it ends right here, and just one nice wire tuck around, so you can barely see the wires. So that's what we're gonna do to this car. And also, I should probably mention, this is the footwell light wire, which will feed to the bottom, or it will feed through here. You'll peel this back, or you can feed it through a little hole. There's supposed to be a little slit here, which I think you have to put in this rubber boot. And then you will feed this footwell wire tap all the way down to the footwell light, the passenger footwell light, which of course is under there. All right, so here's the white wire and the footwell light you're supposed to tap into. I've already unhooked it so you guys can get a visual, but the footwell light fits in that box right there. And here's the tap. This will allow the halos to run off of the interior lights. Anytime you open the door or unlock the doors or lock the doors, the lights will fade in and out. All right, once you've routed all of your wires everywhere else, the last thing you're gonna wanna do is tap your positive wire. So what you wanna do first is remove this box right here, the ECU cover, which is held by 4 T30 screws. And after that, it gives you access to the ECU wiring and everything. So here's the positive wire that I have routed through here all the way to the box, and here's the red positive wire. This is the wire you want to tap into. It's the red and yellow accessory wire. Once you tap into here, the halos become daytime running lights. Again, the kit comes with the supplied taps, so just tap the wire there. You should be good to go. And then you just put this cover back on and screw it down. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and showcase how these halos work, because again, these are the RGBW Chasing Halos and they have Bluetooth operations. So I'm gonna show you guys through my phone right here that I'm holding in my hand how these things can be controlled, the different modes you can set, different colors, and go from there. All right, so I'm gonna use my spare phone here as an example. I have the app already downloaded on my phone, so we're gonna go ahead and open it here. The app to control the halos is called Magic LED, which is right here. I'm gonna tap that. Now I assume all the controllers are the same name. I know for both of my cars, it's the same name. So it's this one right here, SP105E. So we're gonna tap that here and it connects to the car. Now you have all these modes to choose from. So we're gonna tap here first. You're gonna notice that there are over 200, or there are 200 modes to choose from here, and then you have static color. So static color is going to automatically default to red, and I will go ahead and give you guys a heads up that if you change the color manually on this color wheel right here, like this, while driving or when the car is on, or when you shut the car off, when you unlock the car back or turn the car back on, the halos are going to default back to red, like this. It's going to go back to this. The only way to get it back to defaulting on white, if you run white all the time like I do, once you have turned the car back on and it is on that red setting on static color, just hit warm white, and then after that, the halos are going to revert back to white all the time until you decide to change the color again. So this happens to me a lot whenever I'm running the amber halo. So I like to run amber to match my turn signals during sunset. Again, when I decide to once to get out of the car and the following morning I unlock the car, the halos are red. So then what I have to do the next day is press warm white again, and they default back to white. So just a heads up with those halos, because I've had that come up when people ask me, hey, why are my halos turning red? This is why. There are so many other colors to choose from. So you have red, green, blue, and then a regular white, which is sort of a bluish tint right there, if you can see that. And then you have all the other color changing modes. So I'm going to put it in auto. So in my other video where I was showcasing my sedan, I called this show mode or auto mode. It is called auto mode, but I call it show mode because I usually run this specific mode at car shows. It cycles through every single mode that is in here. So all 200, it will go through that for as long as the lights are running. So as you can see, anytime I change the color mode, it changes to the car. You can also adjust the speed of the halos. So if I lower the speed here, see how much slower the halos become? Then I can speed them back up like that. And then I can also adjust the brightness of them like this. So you see how they get darker? And then you go back up and adjust the brightness, and then they're back to bright. One of my other favorite features is being able to turn them off like that. The halos are off, and all you have to do is just turn them back on, and there you go. In the settings mode here, there are these other color modes, I guess you could call. So this here is default, all right? You can change it to where it has these weird looking modes here. There we go. So this is one of these weird ones here. I know it might be hard to see on camera, but so I'll go ahead and bring the camera up so you can see it. So you see that? It's like a spare rainbow effect. It's like a bonus rainbow effect that's stored in here. And when you cycle through the modes here, it really doesn't change much. The variation of how these halos move when I change all the modes is relatively the same, but it has that rainbow look to it, or white, purplish, green. So that's something I found that's hidden. I don't fully understand it, but those are the only colors you get. So I hope this helped you guys and gave you some information on how to install these halos, how they work, and whether it's the ideal choice for you. For me it is, because of all the options that I can use, even though I use white like 95% of the time, and the other 5% is when I run amber at sunset. But otherwise, the only time the color changing mode turns on is if I'm at a car show, because you know, some people like it. For like 140 bucks, these halos are, you know, the best bang for your buck, and you can keep the OEM look with your headlights, which I feel like is the best look in my opinion for these cars. Kind of just modernizes the car a little bit. You know, I feel like it was another great addition for the convertible, as I'm now trying to convert this into a reasonable looking daily. With that said, as always, I appreciate you guys watching the video, and I'll be posting more videos in the future. But for now, thank you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.